Hello. Hi, Richard, number one. I don't know if you can see that your name says number one. You are number one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Untangled. We are on episode 128. I am really, 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 really happy to be here with you live. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you for being here as well. It is always nice to connect, and I am excited to come back in and do these weekly episodes with you guys. If you don't know, I was in Kenya for the last 7 weeks, and so um, I was not consistent on here, but we are back and really looking forward to diving into this human evolution. If you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Hit the notification button, the little bell button. You'll get notified when I do go live. If you know of anyone that will benefit from hearing the words that are going to come out of my mouth today, um, pass this video along. I can't stand the glare from my glasses. I really cannot stand it. It drives me up the wall. But if I don't have the glasses, then I cannot see you guys. Not that I can see you, but I can't read the comments. But I absolutely cannot stand the glare. Anywho, how are all of you guys doing? How are you feeling? How are you being? What is going on for all of you? Um, It's been a little over a week since I've been back from Kenya. I am done with my jet lag, but holy cow, I'll tell you what. I don't know about you, but when I do travel, and I'm so grateful to be able to travel, I'm so grateful for what my life looks like. But traveling for 7 weeks and then coming back home and having all the ups and downs that I had, it can be very unsettling, very rough landing. Jumbo, hello, Una. Una was with us on our. Hi, Peter. It's really good to have Mike H. We missed you the other day, Mike. You did not join our prayer circle. We were looking for you. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Sam. It's good to see you. Una joined us for our retreat in Kenya. I'm debating on whether I want to do another quick one in September. Just 12 people, so half the size. But man, Kenya pulls me back. I'm telling you what. I think I'm done. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do any more retreats for a while. 1 week later, I'm like, oof, I really want to get back. Really want to get back. Hi, Louise. It's really good to see you. Um, uh, it's really, really good to see you. Hi, Wandering Starseed. Hi, Parina. Long time no see. Hi, Lindsay. The ways of the internal world. You can say that again. Holy Moses, you guys. Okay, so where do I begin? I want to talk a little bit about just kind of my own world and my own inner world, my own world. Then I want to open it up to questions if we have time. So, one of the things that I have been experiencing, um, there's been two pretty powerful things that I've been experiencing lately. Um, Remind me also to talk about my Jesus story, which is just the things that I've been thinking about around Jesus. Okay, number one, I have been waking up. Okay, there's a couple things I want to talk about. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to make notes. I never take notes of what I'm going to talk about, but I do want to make some notes. Okay. So, um, hi, Rachel Phillips. It's good to have you here. Croatia, hello. Um, okay, let's get back. Okay. My mind is all over the place. Okay. Anxious thoughts. I've been having massive amounts of anxious and obsessive thoughts in the morning. Probably worse than I've had in a very, very long time. Um, I don't obsess over the obsessive thoughts. So I don't try to fix them. I don't try to get out of them. I absolutely do not try to positive think my way through or out of them. Um, so many of you know one of my absolute most sacred teachings that I absolutely live by. And if you were with me in my Kenya retreats, the 2 that I did, you know that I absolutely do live this way as much as I can. I live in the flow state a lot. I try to. And what that means for me is that if there are intrusive, obsessive, anxious thoughts, I am not somebody that goes in and tries to fix them. Um, I will not go in and try to understand why I have them. Um, I simply allow myself to be in the obsessive, intrusive, anxious thoughts until they go away. And I always know that they go away because when I get up out of bed and I start doing life, they go away. And so while I'm laying in bed for the 30 minutes, hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours in the morning where it's an overwhelming sense of anxiousness. It's an overwhelming sense of um angst, like it's it's just gotten like, whoa. I do not say to myself, "Oh, Lori, you better go get yourself checked. You better go. This might be because of this." I don't ever try to find the solution or the reason. I've learned long enough in this evolutionary shift in consciousness that this is about awareness. Like, first and foremost, it's about awareness. Awareness is the key to this entire game that we're in. And so awareness to me is that when I am in my bed in the morning and these thoughts just take me to freaking la la lands of like, I'm imagining like worst case scenarios. I'm imagining, and it's like they're really true. It's very real. Um, and sometimes when I send out my weekly newsletters, or if I do a post, or even perhaps here, right? People want to give me solutions. Lori, you should do this. It helps. Lori, do this. It helps. I'm not looking for a solution. I'm not looking to get out of it because it doesn't bother me that I'm in it. Because I always come out of it every day. And a week from now, I may not be in it. And to me, that's the flow state. So I'm never trying to figure out how to get out of anything, ever. I am observing myself and being aware of everything I'm in. And I have such deep, absolute faith in the knowingness that this is how energy works. This is how the entire physical planetary existence of being human works. There is always constant change. The only thing that is constant is this change. So I could say to myself, well, Lori, every morning you're waking up with these obsessive thoughts. There's probably something wrong with you. You need to go looked at, or maybe you should take these supplements, or maybe you should do this, get on this, or maybe you should do more breathing, or maybe you should get a la, 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 right? All these tools or all these ways to fix it. And that's not to say that's not important. It's just not my go-to. Um, my go-to is awareness. So I'm aware. The more I'm aware, the more I realize that everything changes. That in 1 hour, this could be very different. The more I'm aware, the more I realize how powerful these thoughts are. I'm not afraid of the power of thought. Um, I don't prescribe to the rewiring of our brains. And the reason I don't prescribe to that, meaning I don't play in that world, I don't try to rewire my brain. I don't try to change my thoughts into different thoughts that I absolutely believe. Because at the end of the day, thoughts aren't designed to be controlled. whether your brain is wired in a certain way or not, thoughts are, from a much higher perspective, designed to just come and go. They're not designed to be controlled, and they're not designed to you're if you don't if you don't essentially, if you don't buy into or believe any of the thought other than it's just the thoughts that are arising, and you're trying to practice being aware of just thoughts arising, the less you're going to buy into this whole rewiring of the brain. So thoughts are like water. They're designed to come and go all day long, every day. Now, if you find yourself like me, where you're in the morning time and these thoughts are obsessive, like you're grabbing the thought and it's literally creating this like tunnel vision of like doom and gloom, right? You want to simply, for myself at least, be aware, wow, holy cow, I am being taken by these thoughts. Best thing I could possibly do is just allow myself to be taken down this river. And then I just get up and I do my day. And if I start doing the day, that obsession gets less loud, right? It gets less loud, and then somehow, for whatever reason, I am in my day now, and those obsessive, intrusive, anxious thoughts aren't as prominent or loud. I don't say to myself, "Oh my god, I hope they don't come tomorrow morning." What if they do? Right? And then they come in the morning, and then I watch them and I listen and I feel, and then I get up and I go about my day again. I pay attention to the thoughts that I'm really believing. I pay attention to it, meaning I am aware of what I actually believe to be true. And is that actually true? Probably not. All thought is just thought. It's if we choose to believe it as truth, and that's when it creates our reality, right? But this idea, I do not like to prescribe to or be in a world where I am tight. I'm trying to control something. And I'll be very conscious and aware of when I am trying to control something. It's a very restrictive, tight feeling in the body. It's a kid having a temper tantrum. Now, this, of course, does not mean that I don't get upset and potentially nervous around what I'm experiencing, like, oh my God, how long is this going to last? I mean, that's human nature. I speak about it with my friends. I talk about it with friends and family. Like I'm not dismissive or bypassy with what I'm experiencing. I'm very much in it, right? But the the evolution in our human consciousness is to fall more out of control, less in control. And if we simply focus on that, because that is a higher state of consciousness, which is where humanity is going, is no longer being in a controlled state. If you think about moments throughout your day where you feel very much out of control, it's probably either with an emotion or a thought. At the end, if you peel it all back, it's an emotion or a thought, an emotion that you don't really want to feel, that's extremely uncomfortable, or thoughts that are taking you down a crazy path. Some of these thoughts you can argue for that they're absolutely true, but most of them are just thoughts that you are believing. 99.9% of them are just thoughts that you're believing. So there is something to be said about taking these thoughts, twisting them around, and choosing different thoughts. But the deepest place that you will find freedom and ease and grace is not even in doing that, is in just letting what is to be. So, like, just letting these thoughts come and go. Anything that we are trying to control rewiring the brain, um, trying to move ourselves from here to here, anything that we're efforting to get out of something in order to get into something else is a state of control. It is human nature in this dense reality that we're in, but it is not our natural state that we are evolving into. That's why let go, let God, I think, is the mantra for the next God knows how many years of this evolution is let go, let God. And really dropping into what does that even mean? What does that mean? And is there something profoundly powerful about that simple awareness, right? Letting go and letting God. And how does that work for me? How do I wrestle with all of that? Um, how do I fight against that? Um, does it resonate? Does it not resonate? What happens if I do lean deeper into that letting go and letting God? Um, and really also recognizing how challenging, right? How challenging letting go is, that the difficulty of it. Uh, it's a fascinating conversation to start having with yourself more and more and more, like becoming more and more acutely aware of letting go and letting God, and recognizing these intrusive, uh, anxious, sometimes debilitating thoughts, somehow trying to find a way to befriend them. There is something really profoundly powerful about starting to almost settle into the thoughts that seem like your enemy. Um, yeah, it's the opposite of what we've been taught and what we continue to be taught. Um, but I'm all about like, if someone were to say, Lori, here's a mountain, there's the top of the mountain. You can either just go straight up the mountain, but it's gonna be exhausting. You're gonna get cut up, bruised, you're gonna have to go through like um bushes. It's not gonna be easy, but it'll be exciting, and it's the fastest way, right? Or you can meander through the switchbacks. It'll take a little bit longer. You won't get as bruised up. It'll be a little less boring. A little more boring, I should say, not less, a little more boring. Da, 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 right? It's not going to be as exciting. It's like, no, give me the juice. I'll go straight up the mountain. Like, I want to go all in. Like, give it to me all. I want the pain. I want the glory. I want the excitement. I'm going to go straight in. I'm going in. I don't want the easy way. And so I look at this every day in terms of the evolution in human consciousness. I want to go straight in. If there are obtrusive, obnoxious thoughts, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to say, holy cow. I'm going to acknowledge how I navigate it. I'm going to acknowledge when it takes me. I'm going to acknowledge when I come out of it and I'm a freaking rock star the later in the day. I'm going to look at how I message my best friend in the morning, like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. I don't know what's going on. And then I message her later and I'm like, I feel like $1,000,000. Life is so great. I'm going to give myself all of that. Why? Because I only have one human life, is Lori Ladd. And this one human life is gifting me the opportunity to be able to see that I'm in an evolution in consciousness. What an absolute gift. And not only that, but I realize that I'm becoming more and more intimate with this creator that created all of it, which is God. And that this God is asking me to let go over and over and over. And letting go means be in what you're in, my friend. Let what you're in teach you. Let what you're in be the tool. Let what you're in be the gift. Let what you're in be what it's designed to be, which is the lesson. It is the gift. How am I being in this? How am I responding in this? What's going on in the moment of the dirty, messy, whatever, right? If I'm on my way straight up the mountain and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my water bottle is half gone. I have to go through these really intense bushes to get to the next level, the next spot up, and I'm like, "Oh, this is horrible. Why did I choose this?" Listen, I've climbed mountains before when I worked at Glacier National Park. There are moments when you're climbing a mountain where you're like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever done. I hate this. I don't wanna be doing this. This sucks." Right? And then 2 hours later, you're standing on the top of the mountain, you're like, "Oh my god, that was the most incredible thing ever. This is so beautiful. This is so worth it. I'm gonna do it all over again." That's being in life. That's not taking shortcuts. Right? Humanity likes to take shortcuts. I would even say that many things in the spiritual community and the new age community is about taking shortcuts, right? We don't want to be in the bright sun at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with half of a water bottle left, not knowing where we're going to get the rest of our water, having to go straight through these bushes that are absolutely going to eat up our skin. And we're like, is there an easier way around this? I'll get to the same place. It's like, no, go in. Because what you're gonna realize when you go all in, when you say, "Screw it, show me what I'm in, show me what I'm experiencing, show me what I'm feeling, like, I want all of it. I want the raw, the nitty-gritty, the dirty, like, give me all of it. This is what life is all about." You begin to build this armor, this awareness of how to be in life in ways that a large majority of humanity doesn't get yet. Because why would you push yourself to go, you have to be crazy to put yourself in these situations that are not gonna be comfortable, right? You see all of these, like, really, these extreme sports people, and you're like, "Why would they put themselves in that? That's just crazy." And it's because of how good they feel afterwards. It's the same with the evolution in human consciousness for me. I know I mean, this is a game to me. And I'm like, man, I am in awe of the fact that I can wake up in the morning and be in massive amounts of obsessive, anxious thoughts that, like, literally convince me that, like, this is not life is not good. And then in the middle of the afternoon, I'm like, "Holy cow, I freaking love life. I love everything about this life." That is like, I'm all in for that. Give me that, right? Give me the ups and the downs. Give me the ins and the outs. Give me the highs and the lows. I don't want this flat line. Right? I don't wanna be super high because 'cause I'm missing the lows, which is part of life. I don't want just the super lows because then I'm missing the highs, but guess what? I'm not in charge. Life throws you up and down. I don't care how evolved you are. I don't care how many meditations you have done, how many ayahuasca trips you've taken, how many breath work sessions you've done. Life is naturally an up and down ride. It's a river. There is no river on this planet that is flatlined and just stagnant. Now, it depends on where on the planet that river is, which will give you basic experiences of more rapids or less rapids, more turns or less turns, more stillness, less stillness. But no matter what, you cannot predict the river. The river is a current that takes you. and that it is always different. That's life. And we get caught up, especially if you are in more of like the spiritual awakened new age community, we get really caught up in bringing ourselves into these states. And God forbid we should be in these other states. Something's wrong with me. I got to take this. I got to take that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And that is why the best thing you could possibly do that is free. It's free, 50 free, is let go and let God. God created all of this. God created you. You are an aspect of God. You are a tiny little aspect of the creator that created all of this. There is nothing on this planet that is out of uh, alignment or perfection. That does not mean that we are not in a spiritual battle. We are we are fighting against energies that want to take us from this free, straight to peace and calm in the midst of chaos. Okay, so peace and calm, ease and grace in the midst of chaos is the goal. Not, I only want peace, calm, ease, grace. I don't want any of the chaos. That's that's not how this evolutionary shift in human consciousness works right now. It's just if you're trying to get to some 5D place where you're not going to be in the chaos, you will find yourself fighting against, resisting, and trying very hard to stay somewhere or to be in something that is not the natural state of this evolution right now. We have to recognize we are in a very intense spiritual warfare. We have to actually recognize what's happening here. And when we can stand in this battlefield, and of course, many people get very upset when I use the term battlefield because it's negative, it's dark, it's not a battle. Yeah, it's a battle. Just listen to your thoughts and tell me it's not a battle. Now, that's not to say that you are fighting against what's happening, okay? It means that you are recognizing that there are forces at play that are going to try to convince you to stay in this restrictive, tight, I'm in control. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to change it. I have to design and redesign. Thank you, Rion, for that super chat. I'm going to design or redesign or recreate all of this. I know what's best. I know how to do this. I'm in charge, right? That is the illusion and the disempowered state that these energies that have been in control of this planet for thousands of years, it's what they want us to believe. Why? Because the most powerful place we could possibly be is our natural state of being, which is a divine union and connection straight to the creator God. Once you connect into that creator God, you're letting go. You're allowing everything because God's reminding you as this creator that all is well. You're solid. You're good. We've got you. I've got you, is what God is saying over and over and over. But we fall into these traps 17,000 times a day, thinking that we have to figure out how we're going to get out of it. And there is something wrong with this. The more you connect straight to God, God says, girl, there's nothing wrong with anything you're in. I've got you. But I don't trust that. It's okay. I still have you. But how do I know? You have to trust. You have to have faith. It's impossible. My thoughts are taking me here. My thoughts are taking me there. Can you get rid of my thoughts? Can't get rid of your thoughts. Lovely. It's part of being in the human experience, which you agreed to be in. Why would I agree to be in this? because you wanted to experience one of the most profound shifts in consciousness that a physical vessel can possibly experience. You're a child of mine. You're a child of God. You are not separate from me, but you are experiencing yourself as a separate, individuated aspect of me, and you think you're alone. Not only do you think you're alone, but you think that the fastest and most empowered way to do this is on your own. That you are God doing all of this. That's the illusion of the human experience, God says, because it is much more difficult to let go of control and hand it over to me, the creator of it all, which is this beautiful, omnipresent light of everything. What if I am this omnipresent creator life force that gave you life through shooting out an expression of myself out into the quantum field so that you could exist? And that although you have free will, so you can go about your day in the human experience thinking that you're the one doing it. But the greatest gift that you can give yourself and humanity is the awareness that you have always been held, you've always been guided, you've always been in the arms of me, the creator. And when we start to embody that more and more and more, there are these double lenses, these two lenses we start using in this human evolution. The two lenses are I am playing a character. There to say that you are not playing a character, to say that like, oh, I am one with everything. It's like bullshit. Tell me you're that when you're laying in bed with all your anxious thoughts. I'm one with everything. It's bullshit. You're on the planet right now. You're struggling with this. You're trying to get through this. You're trying to create all of these things. You want more money. You want the I call bullshit on that. Sorry. You're human, which means that you're playing a very dense physical role that's got all kinds of programming. Like let's get real humble around this. You can have the intellectual thought that you're one with everything, but the everyday experience, it has to be seen through these two lenses, which is I'm playing this very humble role of human, which means I'm in a river that I can't control. And then the second lens is that I am divinely connected to this God, this overarching God, and that this light of God resides within me. It resides within me so that it can use me throughout my day as this very vulnerable, raw human stuck in a physical reality that creates massive amounts of thoughts all day long, every day. That's part of being here and playing this role. And the most humble, powerful, profound experience that you can have during this evolution in human consciousness is to be in this awe. This your jaw is dropped. You are in awe of what is actually unraveling in your human life. Literally like curiosity. While you continue to practice aligning with the creator of all, where it all started, with again a humble awareness that you have no idea. We really don't have any idea. And the crazy thing to me is like, man, the power of the freedom that we can experience when we start doing this, but how to but the challenge and difficulty in doing it. Really, um and that we've been in this battle. There's this warfare happening, where there's these really, by the way, it's completely unseen, this spiritual battle that we're in. You cannot see it. You will not physically see it. It is an unseen spiritual battle. Um, and it controls you in your mind. So again, if you imagine that you are fighting this invisible battle in your mind. And so what's the fastest way through? To keep fighting the thoughts, to keep battling the thoughts, to keep going to battle, and exhausting yourself because of all the thoughts? Or to start, one, becoming aware of all the thoughts, and then two, just going straight to God and just inviting God into the space. God, show me. God, be here. God, shine your light. God, remind me. Because the reason that it's more powerful to do that, in my personal opinion and in my experience, because I practice this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My life revolves around scientifically investigating this evolution that we're in. When I try to go inward and do it on my own, I am God. I can do this. I've got the power to do this because I am God. Um, it gets very muddy. There's a lot of questioning, there's a lot of confusion, um, there's a lot of resistance. But when I started just saying, I'm gonna go to this God that's omnipresent, that is the creator of everything, and that is around me first, that has this overarching view of all of this, then I started feeling a sense of calm and peace that I've never felt before, in the midst of the thoughts, in the midst of the raging rapids of thought. And when you start realizing, it's a profound hack. When you start to recognize, holy shit, this isn't about me trying to get out of or fix what I'm in, because I'll be doing that the rest of my life. It doesn't matter what level of awareness you get to, what state of enlightenment you get to. If you're trying to get there, you master it, you will keep trying to get somewhere else. You will keep trying to master, or you will be trying to push away the natural experience of life. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Okay, this. Okay, this isn't a menu at a restaurant that you get to pick what you want to eat. You essentially, at the end of the day, you're not in charge. You're in flow. And so when you start practicing going straight to this creator, this omnipresent light that's overarching not just obviously this planet, but everything in existence, that is incomprehensible. But we need it. We deeply need it in this very dense physical dimensional field. We have we are blind. We are walking blindly in this dualistic world where we experience right, wrong, good, bad. And so in this experience, in this reality even more, there needs to be a real powerful recognition of this source of everything and connecting to it. And having the courage to boldly connect to it while you're in life. Like, the hardest time to connect to it is when you're laying in bed at 5 AM and your thoughts are going cuckoo. The moment I open up my eyes, I feel those dreaded thoughts. I'm not even like consciously trying, or it's like boom, just comes in like a freaking river. So what do? I just ask God to be here with me. I invite Jesus into the room. God, be here with me. Do I have an expectation that all of a sudden, if I do this, the thoughts have to go away? No, I'm not in charge. I don't try to get any sort of outcome. I just ask and invite God in. I invite Jesus into my room and I just start to get curious. I start listening. And then I go about the next day, I mean, the next minute and the next hour, and I just start doing life awake. When we get out of the way, God has the opportunity to step in. But we have these expectations. Well, I called Jesus in, nothing happens. That's because you have an expectation that something should be happening. Let go of that. Well, I try to connect to God, nothing happens. That's because you're having an expectation that whatever is happening right now shouldn't be happening. There isn't anything that shouldn't be happening that's happening. Everything that's happening is exactly what's supposed to be happening. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. It's our resistance to it that creates the suffering, that creates the shouldn't be. And our whole world is designed for us to pay money to get rid of what is. We're not taught how to be in what is. We're taught how to get out of what is. And we pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to people to help us get out of what is, when that is the greatest and biggest trap and illusion that humanity will find themselves in and continue to find themselves in. If you read the Bible, I got this. There's somebody in our community here. His name is Wally. He sent me this incredible study Bible, which I have to say I absolutely love because I've tried to read the Bible and I'm not going to lie, I don't understand it. It goes in one ear out the other, right? I like a lot of the things that are in the Bible, but it's hard for me. I definitely do not like the Old Testament. I don't read the Old Testament. I don't like the Old Testament. I read the New Testament. But anyways, I got this study Bible from a friend of mine. It's incredible. It literally like breaks down the teachings. The reason I'm bringing this up is because for me personally, when I've read um, parts of the Bible, it never ever talks about changing thought or changing emotions or um there's something wrong with you if you have these thoughts. Thank you, Maria, for that super chat. I really appreciate it. It talks about how to find God. It talks about God over and over and over again. It talks about how to be in this world in a connection with God. Talks about kindness, compassion, forgiveness, faith. But it's very different than what we are taught on this planet right now, which depending upon what road you go down, it could either be, how to make millions, how to have the job you want, how to create the life you want, how to get out of toxic relationships, um, how to fix these attachment disorders you have, how to get rid of anxiety. I mean, it's all these things that are trying to fix things or create things, which is fine. It's just not what's going to get us through the next 15, 20 years of this evolution. The next phase for humanity is literally, simply finding God. And as simple as that is, and the profound change it's going to have on this planet when people start to recognize, holy cow, forget about me trying to manifest $8 million or this perfect relationship or this great house that I want. First and foremost, if I go to God, what happens in my life? How does my life change? There is this really soft approach, humble experience that happens when we start practicing this. It's not sensational news. It's not, oh my God, doom and gloom news. It's not going to get 18 million likes on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. It's not going to trend, you know, um, because it's not some sort of, it's a simple, profound um, awareness that will heal this entire planet. But again, because we're in a spiritual battle and a spiritual warfare, if we can keep people hyped up, if we can keep people fighting against each other, if we can keep people arguing, if we can keep people in the sensational news, if we can keep people in the, oh my God, what's coming next, if we can keep people in those kind of anxious, heightened states, they're not going to look for God. They're too busy fighting. They're too busy trying to figure out what's right. They're too busy trying to become awake. They're too busy trying to look at all the horrible things on the planet. They're too busy trying to navigate all this stuff. It's like all these other things are way more important than just quietly sitting with God every day. So it's gonna keep getting louder. That's why I think AI is one of the most dangerous things. One, I mean, on so many levels, but I mean, the fact that like it's just going to stop humanity from actually thinking and creating. It's just another thing that pulls you. Anything that's going to pull us from just quietly sitting with God is going to be very, very, very dangerous. And that's why I think the story of Jesus is just there's so many stories of Jesus that blow my mind. But I mean, he had to get people's attention. Otherwise, nobody would believe that he was the son of God. He had to convince people to trust him. He had to convince people to listen to him. He had to. So he did miracles. God did miracles through him. He walked on water. He healed the blind. He healed a man with leprosy. He did these miraculous things that were so profound you couldn't not believe. And they were so profound that 2,000 years later, people are still talking about him, right? So it's like the fact that like that needed to happen in order for people to believe is so mind-blowing because now we're in a time where we think we're the ones that are going to do it all, that we have all the powers and all the abilities and all this stuff. We don't have somebody like Jesus walking the planet, walking on water. And if we did, we'd be like, oh, that's AI. That's AI. That's not real. We wouldn't need, if there was a Jesus that did walk the planet right now, 90% of us that are awake would be like, yeah, that's probably AI. We wouldn't even believe it if it was real. That's the world we live in. Like, nah, pretty sure that's not real, you know? So we really like the other thing that I love so much about Jesus and his story is like he didn't come down on the planet to share these things in order to be worshiped. He never was like, I'm the way. I'm the only like you better worship me and put me on a pedestal, right? He was trying to get people to recognize that they need to go to God. They need to have faith in God. God will heal everything. Like, and what he meant by that, or what I take from that, is that leave it up to your own accord, and you will, because of the programming on this planet, you will get caught in the programming. You'll get caught in the mind. You'll get caught in distortion. You'll get caught in illusion. You'll get caught in greed. You'll get caught in manipulation. You'll get caught in pride. You'll get caught in your egoic needs and desires. You'll get caught in the desires of this world. You'll get caught in it. That's what we're finding on this planet. Is the justification for all of the desires that we have, all of the things that we want to create and manifest, all the ways in which we're, you know, trying to find these external things that will save us from the pain of this world. And again, if I kind of loop back to climbing straight up the mountain or going around in these walk around, this slow, easy path, it's like, trust me, you want to go straight up the mountain. You want to drop to your knees. You want to pray. You want to realize, oh my God, this life isn't designed for me to figure out that I'm the one that's doing it all, that I'm in charge. There is this beautiful, miraculous uh, design. There is a divine design, creation above all creations. The greatest gift we can give ourselves while we are here on the planet is to remember this divine connection that we have, and that it isn't a disempowerment. It's the most empowering thing we could do. Okay, before I go, I don't even have time to be able to um, ask you guys, see if you guys have walking on water is so much easier in the winter. 1000%. Um, it's so true. I don't believe that this world is hell. I don't feel like it's hell. Um, so no, it's not hell. Okay, so okay. Really quickly, one last story, and then I'll open up to a couple questions. Oh, I did want to talk about autism, ADHD, and light quotient. I think I'm going to do another. I think I'll do a live that's just on light quotient, and the connection between our light quotient and autism and ADHD. I got to do a different separate live because that's going to take up an entire hour. Um, why did I go to Kenya? That's a long story. A friend of mine was living there, so that's why I originally went to Kenya. And then it just took my heart. There's something about Kenya, man. It grounds you into the earth. It drops you into soul, connects you to sort of the birthplace of humanity. It takes you, man. It takes your heart. It just takes you if you let it. I don't know if there's anybody here that's been on either of the two retreats that I did in Kenya, but what was it like for you? It's hard to explain. Um, Intrusive thoughts in the morning as well. Yes, a lot of us have. Um, so, uh, all right, what questions do you guys have? I think I'll just stop there. How to ruminate when the mind is really heavy with thought, even being aware but still spiraling. So you have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, Lindsay. You have to realize that there's another what's next that you have to do, right? Now what's next that I have to do? So always inviting God into the space. God come into this space. God show me. God be with me. Um just God sit with me, right? So you're always inviting something else besides Lindsay and her intrusive thoughts into the space. You're trying to remember that, okay? Because the one that will at least kind of flip the script just a tiny bit. And then it's like, what's next? Like, what do I have to do right now? Okay, I'm going to get up. Now I'm going to go feed my kids. Now I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to do a podcast. Now I'm going to reach out to this person. And so the intrusive thoughts, they get lost in the things that you're doing throughout the day, right? They can still be there, but they get mumbled or quieted a little bit if you start to put your focus on, okay, what do I need to do next? Now what do I need to do? Okay, now what am I so you move the focus from, oh my God, the thoughts are so intrusive. You don't try to get rid of them or fix or obsess over how to get out of them. You just what's you just do the next thing that's in front of you, right? And if you're bored and you don't have anything going on and the intrusive thoughts get really loud because it's quiet, okay, invite God in. Just by simply saying, I'm inviting you in, God. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you look like, feel like, sound like. I don't know any of that, but I'm just going to invite this light of God, the creator of everything, to come into this space. No expectation, no attachment, whatever, right? Hands up in the air. Um, but feel into the difference between trying to fix and figure out and how to get rid of those intrusive thoughts. The difference between that and I'm in the rapids. I don't have to focus on the fact that I'm in the rapids, right? If you've ever been in rapids, focusing on the fact that you're in the rapids is not going to help. It's only going to make it worse. So you just are like, I'm in the rapids. Fuck, it sucks. Let me have a little life vest here while I go through the rapids, right? And then what's next? I keep my head above water. I'm looking forward so I can see what's coming, but I'm consciously in what is. So the more that we obsess over trying to fix, figure out, change, deal with, oh my God, I'm an anxious person. I have an anxious this. These thoughts are not good. I need to fix these thoughts. I need to change these thoughts. I got to positive think these thoughts. I got to flip these thoughts. You're literally anchoring yourself deeper into what is designed to just be a moment. So eventually, if you just say, okay, what's next? Okay, now I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to go do this. Now I'm going to go do this. Those intrusive thoughts, believe it or not, will start to just, like, they get mumbled and then they come louder. Then they get mumbled and they get louder, right? Practice that. Yeah, you try not to believe them, but a lot of us believe the thoughts, right? So it's even in the believing of the thoughts, even that is a humble it's a humility to recognize that you're believing the thoughts, and then you still just take the next step. And then those thoughts that you were believing for so long, they get mumbled. They get quieted. So the even bigger kind of flex for us is that it's not even about believing or not believing the thoughts. It's about just being in the presence of what's next. And then those thoughts, whether you believe them or not, they go away and something new comes. Right? And it's practicing and learning how to just be with thoughts throughout the day in presence. So you're in movement. That's why I'm not a big proponent of, like, the whole rewiring of the brain, even though there's all this scientific evidence. I still think that's us trying to control everything. When you let go of even that, you break free from everything. So if there are certain bundles of thoughts that really take you, right? Okay. One foot in front of the other. What do I have to do next? What do I have to do next? What do I have to do next? What am I doing next? God, come in. God, come in. God, come in. God, come in. And then you actually start to feel a little bit more free, because you're realizing, oh my God, holy cow, I don't need to I don't have to do so much. We don't like it. Humans like answers. They like solutions. They like to get rid of it. And then if something else comes they don't like, they want to get rid of that. But that's not the flow state. That's actually not the higher state of evolution that humanity's walking into. The higher state of evolution that humanity's walking into is allowing what is and flowing through what is, divinely connected to God. Okay, this Bible, you guys, holy cow. Okay, so it is, I don't know where it came from because a friend, or not a friend, well, he's a friend, but he's a community member. He sent it to me. It's the Application Study Bible. It's ginormous. And it's the Life Application Study Bible, NLT. Life Application Study Bible. N as in Nancy, L as in leader, T as in Tom. Anyway, if you're interested in the Bible, check it out. Cindy, I will post. I don't have a link to this Bible. That's the thing. I didn't actually buy it. I don't have a link, but this is what it looks like. And it's leather brown, and it's just Google. I think you can find it. Life Application Study Bible. New Living Translation. Thank you, Donna. Okay, I'll put it right here. Hold on. Life Application Study Bible. You guys will like it if you're interested, like learning a little bit more about the Bible. It's really good. Breaks it down for you. Okay. Anything else before I get going? Yay, your therapy. What are your thoughts of I've never read the Course in Miracles. Why is it so hard to feel him lately? Feel Jesus lately? Yeah, I don't know. It's been hard for me to feel him too. It's maybe the collective energy that's just buzzing. I don't know. It hasn't been super easy for me. I call him in, I have him sit, but I don't feel him in the same intensity right now. Maybe I will later today, maybe I will tomorrow. I don't know. I'd love to do another course, or I should say another class where we sit with him every day. There's something powerful and profound about coming together and sitting with him together. But I also haven't felt like doing anything like that yet. Energies of the cosmos. When I know I have faith, but doubts try to come to me, but I know I have faith. It's still faith, right? I know the member of my family has been secretly healing, even if the doctors say no. Yeah, faith. This faith. You can always have more faith. Like, there's going to be doubts. It's the practice of faith is really challenging. Faith. Faith. Will we be damned if we aren't baptized? No. Anything else, you guys, before I go? Stay tuned because I will do a live on the light quotient. I love dissecting light quotient and what it is and why it's so important right now. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for being here. Lift your attention to the sun. Yay. Do you have a personal relationship with Jesus? I do. I love if you talked about Mary, Sophia, and Divine Feminine Earth Gaia energy. I don't connect to Mary. I don't know what Mary Sophia is. I don't really connect to that right now, or divine. I did channel the Earth the other day in my community, so our community. She was fabulous. I think we channeled her in May, you guys. Did we channel Earth in May or in April? Profound channeling of the Earth. Oh my gosh, she came in so strong. So strong. Anyway, all right, you guys, thanks for being here. Untangled episode 128. Appreciate all of you. I'll see you next Tuesday. If you want to join the SOAR community, we have the link down below. We do 5 live events a month. We have a beautiful, powerful, incredible, supportive global community there. We do a prayer circle, book club, channeling, a teaching, and what else do we do? Coaching call. Link is down below. You get 2 weeks for free if you want to join us. And we're doing our next channeled message on Sunday, this coming up Sunday. I love you. I'll see you next Tuesday for Untangled. Be gentle with yourselves. Mwah.